Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for watching. In today's video we're going to be talking about pre-pooing while I also try out a new product from Treluxe. So if you'd like to see what I'm trying out today, then just keep watching. Okay, so in today's video we're going to talk a little bit about pre-pooing while I also review this new product from Treluxe. This is their Soothe and Restore Aloe Vera Curl Primer. This is a multi-use product that can be used in a couple different ways. The description says, leave those failed day 2 curls behind. Soothe and Restore Aloe Vera Curl Primer is designed to help you extend wash day results and save time refreshing your curls. The primer's plant-based ingredients help smooth, detangle, soften, and clump curls to prepare for styling. So even though the description describes it kind of as a refreshing type product or leave-in, it does describe the instructions in a way that describes it as a pre-poo. So how to use, it says, apply the aloe vera curl primer to soaking wet hair, evenly distribute the product through hair until curls are detangled and defined, leave on for 5 to 8 minutes, then rinse. Style as usual. It does have a little asterisk that also says can also be used as a leave-on product. And then it also says for best results, use on hair and scalp that is cleansed weekly. This product is vegan and it has no sulfates, silicones, or artificial colors. And the key ingredients are aloe vera, vitamin C, and vitamin E. It does have a pretty high glycerin content. So the first few ingredients are water, aloe vera leaf juice, glycerin, PEG4 hydrogenated castor oil, and then ascorbic acid, which is vitamin C. And then the list goes on. So glycerin's pretty high up there. Aloe is pretty high up, which is also a humectant. Before we get into the product, let's talk a little bit about pre-pooing. While we do that, I'm going to start to section my hair because as you can see, I had it in this kind of fake mohawk style and I styled it wet. So it's been sitting in this style with product and water overnight. So the first step is going to be sectioning my hair because I'm sure it's a matted, tangled mess underneath all of these ponytails. So while we take these out, we're going to talk a little bit about pre-pooing. So what's a pre-poo? If you're new to natural hair or you've never pre-pooed your hair before, a pre-poo is just what it sounds like. It's a pre-shampoo treatment. Now, people use pre-poos for different reasons, and you can see I'm already struggling with this first section to get this ponytail holder out. So this is we're really putting this product to the test because I can tell you, I already know it's going to be tangled. Also, before we get too far into the video, I do have to put a disclaimer about my nails. Guys, it's always something. So I did my nails right before I started filming because they were like chipping and didn't look that good. So I kind of touched them up and then I used a gel top coat to try to like do a quicker version of doing my nails. But it's regular nail polish underneath, so it was just a bad idea. I instantly smudged them and messed them up as I was setting everything up, so don't look too closely. What I was saying was people use pre-poos in different ways. So a lot of people will use a pre-poo as just like it's described, a pre-shampoo treatment, so almost like a deep conditioner before shampooing. So people who use pre-poos in that way are looking for nourishing ingredients. They're looking for conditioning, things that are going to help actually soften and nourish the hair. Pre-poos are typically done on dirty hair, so I personally don't subscribe to that notion of using a pre-poo for softening my hair or conditioning my hair. I prefer to use a pre-poo as a detangler. So as you can see right now, my hair is very tangled. And so to get right into the shower, wet this, and then put shampoo in it is going to be a disaster. So the way that I like to use a pre-poo, which is how a lot of people also use it, is as a detangling treatment. So something that provides a lot of slip to help get your hair detangled prior to shampooing. So the first thing I'm going to do is wet my hair. One thing I'm a little bit deviating from the product in is that it does say to apply this on soaking wet hair. I believe that's more so for when you're using it as a styler, and that's not how I'm using this. So I'm not going to soak my hair wet because that's not what I typically do with pre-pooing. And also I want you guys to be able to see how good the slip really is in this. It's not just adding a lot of water. This product truly has a ton of slip. So we're going to go right into the product. See what the texture is. It's really like a slimy, slippery detangler type product. I did try this product as a leave-in, just as a disclaimer, so this is not a first impressions video, but I will say I did not love it as a leave-in, and I think it's because it has so much glycerin in it and aloe vera. It's a very high humectant product. So even though that's great for detangling, you guys can see it's already gliding through my hair and breaking up those tangles. Even though it is really good for that, and you can also see it is starting to define my curls, which explains, you know, why they would say you can use it as a refresher. The problem I was having is, even though this looks great, I would love to, you know, be able to just kind of refresh it, throw this in here, and then dry and go. My hair was frizzing up instantly, and you'll kind of see it as I'm applying this. It's just, there's no frizz control, and I used it as part of a wash and go, so maybe that was part of it. It could potentially work better in a different combination of products, and maybe with you know, different style if I did it for a twist out. I actually did try it for a twist out. I tried to refresh and then retwist, and that also did not work. It gave me pretty much no definition. So even though it looks promising when you're applying it, it just really does not maintain that definition. So I'm going to go in with my Tangle Teaser just to show you guys the detangling. I've pretty much finger detangled this section as I was applying the product. So there's not going to be a ton of tangles left, which is great. But you guys can see it is just gliding. And you saw how tangled my hair was when I started. That's it. Quickest detangle I've probably ever done. And I'll just twist this section up. And of course the style that I have my hair in right now is not really conducive to pre-pooing, but I didn't feel like undoing it and then redoing it since it's already pretty much in sections. So yeah, I'm just going to twist this section up and leave it like that until I shampoo. Let's talk about pre-pooing. I know that a lot of people are anti-pre-poo because of what a lot of stylists have told us about what's necessary, what's not necessary, the whole no oils, no butters movement, all of that. There's a lot of controversy along, you know, whether or not we need pre-poos. Is it helpful to your hair? And I think really it comes down to realistic expectations, right? So if you're putting something on your hair and expecting it to like condition and transform your hair on dirty hair that has a layer of styling products on it, that's not very realistic, right? So that's why I say that I prefer to use a pre-poo as a detangler, because I know that this is helping me. I could just go straight into washing my hair and detangle during the conditioning step, or you know, try to kind of finger detangle while I'm shampooing. All of those are options. It's just a different way to get to the same ends. So for me personally, I do like to spend the time outside of the shower detangling, so that when I get in the shower, I'm not spending as much time while the water is running, wasting water, and just being in the shower for longer than necessary. Anything that I can do to minimize the time that I'm physically in the shower washing my hair is what I'm gonna do. Because it's not fun standing there and fighting with your hair, trying to detangle, and you're, you know, trying not to waste water, so maybe you're turning your water on and off. It's just annoying. So I prefer to just do the detangling outside the shower, get it done, and then when I get in the shower, I can literally just wash my hair. Make it nice and quick. Now, the caveat to that is, even though my shower wash time is going to be shorter, this is adding an extra step to wash day, right? So people who don't pre-poo may think that their wash day is shorter, and maybe it is, but for me, it's actually going to be longer if I try to fight with detangling my hair in the shower versus getting it detangled with a product with good slip like this that took me seconds to get detangled. This section is now smooth, detangled, and ready for washing. That is much quicker for me than to be in the shower trying to detangle. It's just the reality of having dense hair. It's gonna take forever. So doing it this way, I think it does actually cut down on my wash day. Right now, obviously, it's taking longer because I'm talking to you guys. But typically, this would be so quick as long as I have a good product that has good slip. talking about the Treluxe product itself, first thing I noted was that it smells so good. Like, Treluxe products all smell pretty good, but this one has a like fruity, almost like watermelon type scent. I don't know why I decided to use these hair ties instead of my normal satin ones. I think because I was trying to like match better, but this was poor decision making on my part. And I do actually have all Treluxe products in my hair as far as stylers. Like I mentioned, I had initially used this Aloe Vera primer as a leave-in. So that was in my hair, and I used the Curl Supreme cream, which I was going to use it on its own because I've used that by itself as a wash and go. So I was going to use it on its own for a twist out. Then I decided not to do a twist out, so I added the high definition styling gel. That wash and go came out terrible. So I refreshed with the curl primer and did a twist out. The twist out was okay, but it only lasted like a day because it's just been so humid here. So it's been thunderstorming and all kinds of things. So that didn't last very long. So then after that, when I had to go out, which was last night, I just re-wet my hair and applied the Treluxe Mousse, which is another one of their new products from the same Soothe and Restore line. I love that mousse for a wash and go, for a twist out. It does a great job. It gives you great definition, has a little bit of hold. So I use that to just help kind of give me some definition to put it up into this style. I also used it to like slick the sections up and just like brushed it back into this kind of fake mohawk situation, and that worked pretty well. But what I am finding is that my roots are very stiff. You guys can see here, like this is how how tangled and matted, because I literally just sprayed my hair, threw on some mousse, and then put it up in these sections. So already, because I had that curl primer in my hair, already I can feel the slip coming through. And that's another thing that this product says it's good for, and it is pretty decent for, I will say, just from trying it out myself. It is a good refresher, and it's supposed to lessen the amount of water needed for refreshing, which is great, because one of the things that's annoying when you're trying to refresh your hair is if it's soaking wet and you're pretty much starting with a fresh style, like a fresh wash and go, you're gonna have to dry it again, or it's adding additional work to refreshing. And to me, refreshing should be quick. It should be a matter of just like spritzing and going, and you can see already just by spritzing with water, it's reactivating that primer, and I'm able to kind of, smooth through my hair. If I really wanted to, I could like do a little bit of finger coiling and get the definition back. The problem that I face with my particular hair is that the definition just doesn't last. It's gone as soon as it starts to dry. So not even giving me enough time to like diffuse it and set the style, it just starts to instantly frizz. So I think I could play around with this a little bit. I think maybe trying it with the mousse also may give me better results. So I'm gonna try that as well, because I do think it could be a good leave-in. It feels like it could. I think I need to play around with the amount that I use as well, because obviously right now when I'm pre-pooing, I want a decent amount of product so that I have enough slip. But maybe if I'm using it as a leave-in, maybe I don't use as much product. And maybe that will help kind of alleviate some of that frizziness that I was getting before. But as a pre-poo, like, look, you guys are seeing this in real time. That took seconds to get this detangled. So I like it as a pre-poo. I just hate to use such a good product. Typically for a pre-poo, I use like a cheap conditioner or something, something with slip, but that's not super expensive, because again, you're going to be rinsing it out. So to put all this effort into detangling and then, applying this product and then you're going to just wash it out, I'd want to use something cheaper. Treluxe is not super expensive. They are found in drugstores, but they are a little bit on the higher end of drugstore pricing. So I would hesitate to use this as a pre-poo all the time, but it works really well. You also don't need a ton of product. Like, I'm using that much. I probably don't even need that much. If I were to add more water, I wouldn't need to use quite as much product. I also still have some product in my hair, so again, it's getting reactivated. I don't need to be using as much as I am. I don't love the idea of like rinsing a product like this down the drain. You know what I mean? Like it's got those great ingredients. I really don't love the thought of just using it as a pre-poo. So I am going to play around with it a little bit more, and I'll see maybe if I find a good way that works with it, maybe with the mousse or, you know, other styles, then I will definitely report back and let you guys know if that works. But for right now, I am liking it as a pre-poo. So those are my initial thoughts on how to use this product in my hair. So while we're talking about pre-pooing, let's talk a little bit about deep conditioning as well. I lately have not been consistently deep conditioning my hair. I used to be the type that every single wash day I was deep conditioning, no fail. Like that was a part of my wash day routine. I started to hear, mainly with the no oils, no butters movement, and with, you know, the people who follow that method, that deep conditioning was not really necessary. And I actually agreed with that. I mean, honestly, if you have healthy hair that doesn't need deep conditioning, it doesn't need any repair, it doesn't need moisture, then I don't see the need to deep condition. You may not even need to condition, honestly. I mean, it's good to condition to seal the cuticles after you wash your hair, but if you're using a moisturizing shampoo or like a clay wash that has a lot of moisture, a lot of times you don't necessarily need to condition. One of the things about Treluxe I noticed initially is that they didn't have a deep conditioner in their product line, and it wasn't until recently when they came out with this new line, the Soothe and Restore line, that they came out with a deep conditioner. I don't have that deep conditioner, but I do want to try it. But it just goes to show that you don't necessarily need one. And their Untie the Knot, which is marketed as a leave-in conditioner, can be used as a rinse out or deep conditioner as well. So I had tried that before. I used it as a rinse out conditioner and it does okay. But honestly, a lot of times I'm just, in the interest of time, shampooing and conditioning and getting out of the shower, because I don't feel like sitting under heat, like putting a heating cap or sitting under the hooded dryer, taking the extra step to get out of the shower, get back in to rinse it. I want to simplify my wash day as much as possible, and I think that is kind of the goal that a lot of the stylists that recommend the kind of no oils, no butters method. I know there's a better way that they describe it, but I can't. It's escaping my mind right now, so I can't think of what it is. But if you guys know what I'm talking about, the people that say, you know, that you don't need oils and butters regularly in your hair routine, and they have specific method that they follow, which includes not deep conditioning. And so I lately have not been deep conditioning as much. I will maybe once a month. But I do feel like lately, and maybe it's just the summer and humidity and the fact that I've been outside more, lately I have been feeling like my hair needs it. And so yet I still haven't been deep conditioning, so my hair might be suffering a little bit because of that. But it makes me just kind of wonder, is it a good idea to just preemptively deep condition your hair if you know that you're going to be facing a season of, you know, being out in the sun a lot where UV rays are going to be affecting your hair more, or going to the beach and, you know, having the elements just really bearing down on your hair? Why not go ahead and deep condition to prepare it for that? So I think there's a place for deep conditioning. I don't think it has to be every single wash day. I think you can just use a rinse out conditioner, especially if you're pre-pooing with the intention of using your pre-poo as a treatment. If you're using your pre-poo as like a deep conditioner prior to shampooing, you're going to leave it in, you're going to use heat, you're going to you know, use it as a treatment more so than just a detangler, then yeah, I don't see the need to go in with a deep conditioner on top of that. But could there be times where maybe you switch up your routine a little bit and start to deep condition more regularly because of the time of year, because of your hair being in a protective style coming up soon, so you want to prepare it for that? You know, those kind of things I think are fair, and I think you really have to just listen to your hair, honestly. I'm seeing a lot of posts about people saying that their hair is damaged or it feels like it's been affected, their curl pattern's been affected, the texture feels different because of how they change their routines. And whether that is because they switched to not using oils and butters, whether it's because they got curly cuts, whatever the reason is, I think what it really comes down to is if you do something different with your hair routine, with how you style your hair, whatever the case may be, and your hair responds negatively to it, listen to your hair, please. Don't just blindly follow what people tell you to do, because yes, not using oils and butters might work for one person, but maybe my hair has gotten so used to how I treat it and how I deep condition and, you know, the oils that I use and things like that. Maybe it needs that now because I've conditioned it to being its healthiest that way. My hair is not, even though I do say it's suffering a little bit, it's not unhealthy. I have some split ends, I've got some frizz, and maybe some damaged areas just from, you know, high manipulation. But it's in general, like you guys see how thick my hair is. It's pretty healthy. And so I'm not going to switch anything up, because if it likes what I'm doing with it right now, then that's what I want to stick to. So I think that's what the biggest thing is. It's like there's no one size fits all. Some people are going to do well with oils and butters. Some people are not. Yes, there's science behind what the oils actually do to your hair and coating it and things like that. But you're also assuming that everybody has the same routine. So maybe that person that's using oils is clarifying once a week. Maybe that, and they're also deep conditioning because they're clarifying. You know, we can't say what's going to be the best for every single person because everybody's hair is not the same. I don't think we need to make a decision about, oh, it's best to do this, it's best to do that. Do what works for you. And I think I've said this on my channel before when the whole no oils, no butters thing first came out. It doesn't really matter. Just do what works best for your hair. Listen to your hair. If your hair feels dry, give it a moisture treatment. If it seems like it's lacking protein, give it a protein treatment. And just doing what works best for you. Just do you. I think also a lot of these techniques and things have really driven a divide in the natural hair community that I don't think we need. I personally, I know y'all are gonna come for me, I don't really go to hairstylists. I don't have a problem with hairstylists. Like my aunt is a hairstylist, she did my hair for years. But there's so much negativity now between YouTubers and hairstylists, and they're calling it YouTube University and saying we're teaching people wrong things, and which I'm going to put a disclaimer, I'm never telling you what way is right and wrong. I come on here to show you what works on my hair, to show you what's worked in my journey, and just to share my experience. That's literally all that YouTube is. You can use it for informative videos. There are some that are more informative than others, but you guys really have to use your own discernment and decide if what this person is telling you, one, if it's based in fact, because not everybody does their research, first of all. But two, is it even for you? It might not be for you. If it doesn't apply to you, then just watch and be entertained. That's all it comes down to. That's what everything is on this internet world, in these days that we live in. At the end of the day, it's entertainment. If you really wanted information, you can go read a book, you can do some research, you can go to a stylist and choose which source of information that you follow. But I don't think we need to create this divide between YouTubers and hairstylists saying one is right and the other isn't, because really at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. And I think I keep coming back to that, but it's because I really, really do feel that we make a huge deal out of things that really don't need to be a big deal. Like, it's just baffling to me that we create these, conflicts amongst ourselves within the natural hair community. Look, we're all here because we love natural hair, right? We love to embrace our texture. We love learning new things about our hair. Okay, so then why does there have to be this divide? So anyway, I don't know how I got on that random rant, but when it comes to deep conditioners, I'm going to use them as needed. I am probably going to deep condition today, even though I am pre-pooing, just because I feel like my hair needs a little bit of extra moisture. My ends have been feeling really dry lately. And I just feel like I need a little boost. So I'm probably going to go ahead and deep condition today. but I haven't deep conditioned in probably a few weeks. So just to share kind of my journey and what works for me. Like you can see this side of my hair in particular, and I don't know if there's a reason for it, but like this section has just been struggling with curl definition. It's really frizzy. There's a little bit of breakage in this section, like up at my roots here. So I just need to take a little bit better care of it, and that's okay. Like, we go through seasons. It's okay for my hair to struggle a little bit, and then I'll bring it back, and it's fine. It's just hair. It'll grow back. So aside from that, I do love having a product that has multiple uses. You know, we love a good multi-use product, and this is one of them. Their Untie the Knot is also kind of a multi-use product, as I mentioned. So I do love that. I love that they are catering to kind of a simple wash day. I think the detangling is where this shines. So I think even for a twist out, I may try a twist out with this and the mousse, because I think really the twist out that I tried didn't work because I did it on top of the Curl Supreme. So I think maybe if I try it with the mousse, maybe it'd be better. Maybe because they come from the same line. I don't know. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about any of the topics that I covered in this video. I know we kind of bounced around a lot, but let me know, what do you think about pre-pooing? Do you pre-poo in your routine? Do you think it's useless? Do you think it has any benefit in a curly hair routine? And then let me know what you think about the whole, controversy that's been, I don't know if I would even call it controversy. It's just been kind of an ongoing conflict within the natural hair community, between hairstylists and YouTubers. Let me know what you guys think about that. Do you think there's any merit behind it? What do you think we can do to kind of repair that relationship, honestly? Because we could learn so much from each other, and there's no reason to segregate it. And there are some hairstylists that have YouTube channels as well, like Mel from Mains by Mel. She has an amazing YouTube channel, and granted, it's not geared towards people with my texture of hair, but she gives amazing information stemming from her background as a hairstylist, and her knowledge from the industry, as well as being on YouTube and being an influencer. I don't know if she likes to use that word, influencer or content creator, but she uses that knowledge to be able to reach people that are watching YouTube, which I think is smart. If you have the African Hair God, there's another one, Narada. He is a hairstylist as well, and he reaches people that watch YouTube, and he has a great, amazing following, but he's also a hairstylist, so he has both sides. I think those type of people are the ones that we really need to give more credit to, because they are helping us kind of bridge that gap and kind of fact check, because it's easy for someone to say, from one side, it's easy for a hairstylist to say all YouTubers who do natural hair content are giving you wrong information, and then you shouldn't listen to them. Okay, well, that's not the case, because there are YouTubers who have a background in cosmetology and who know what they're talking about. And then there are some that maybe don't have that background, but they do a crap ton of research, and so they are giving you correct information. You just have to be picky about who you follow. So anyway, I was trying to get away from that rant, and then I came back to it. What I was trying to get at was, let me know your thoughts in the comments. That's where that was trying to go. I wasn't trying to start venting again, but it's just something that bothers me so much to see it so often in social media, on YouTube, and all over the place, that there's this back and forth between stylists and YouTubers. And just do what works for your hair. Like, just do what works for you and stop getting mad at people about what they're doing. Final thoughts on this Aloe Vera Curl Primer. I think it works great as a pre-poo. As you saw, the slip was amazing. It helps detangle super quickly. It smells great. And it feels nice in the hair. So it's that nice, like, slippery, kind of reminds me of like an African Pride pre-poo, or the Just For Me, like that type of slimy texture. That's exactly what this is. It's perfect for a pre-poo, perfect for detangling. I definitely like it for that purpose. Like I said, I will let you guys know if I try it in other ways, other than how I did most recently, which was not great. a little definitely goes a long way. So that may have been my user error, was just using too much product. But overall, definitely like this product. I would definitely recommend if you are a pre-poo girly like I am, definitely check it out. How many times did I just say definitely? I don't know. Anyway, that's all I've got for you guys in this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video if you enjoyed this type of chit chat detangle video. I'm definitely trying to bring more of these type of conversational type videos to you guys because I think they're just fun. It's fun to chat with you guys and to hear your opinion in the comments. So sound off in the comments below. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. My information is always in the description box, but I tend to ask your guys' opinions about content there first. So definitely check me out there if you want to be the first to kind of get your opinion out there when I'm making new content. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you guys in my next video.